Hi, I'm Mona, and if you're here, you found Kaleidoscope Dreams Tarot. So today I do have a pick a pile card reading, all right? And this is for the healing energy sessions, okay? The question I came up with for today is, why am I afraid I may fail, okay? These are the three piles, 1, 2, and 3. So, in regards to the question, why am I afraid I may fail? These are for those of you who may have a fear of failure, right? Maybe you give up easily or really quickly before you actually follow through with whatever you're doing because you're afraid of failure and you'd rather just give up than to actually try, okay? Now, I want to explain with this question, you know, in order to move forward in life or to learn things or, just be the best you can be, you're going to run into failure. It's part of life. Okay? Failing doesn't mean, oh my God, it's the end of the world. Definitely not. Okay? For example, you have runners. There's like, 10 or 15 people doing the sprint or whatever. If all of them were worried about failing, there'd be nobody running. Somebody out of that is going to win. So it's all about putting your best foot forward. And if you don't win, it's okay. You pick yourself up and you keep trying. You know, if you don't try, you'll never know. You don't want to be stuck in that because you might be holding it back on a lot of opportunities in your life. Okay. So like I said, we have three piles here. All right. I also want to add that you should not live your life by the tarot because you are in charge of your own destiny. Okay? None of these piles may resonate with you at all. One of them might. Or you may have chosen a pile that doesn't resonate and maybe your intuition is a little bit off and maybe the next pile would have been a better choice. You know? Either way, don't live your life by it because you are in charge of your own destiny. And regardless of what these cards say, it's up to you to really make that choice to move yourself in a more positive direction. Okay? At the end of the video, I do pull oracle cards so we can get some advice from the universe. And from also Buddha Wisdom, all right? I'm using the Buddha Wisdom Shakti Power cards and the Surrender cards. All right, and those are just a couple cards that I'll pull, and maybe we can get some advice from the universe and from Buddha to see, how can we, stop feeling this way? Because failure is a part of life. We all fail, and what you do, you just pick yourself up, you try again, you try a little harder, not a big deal. So what we're trying to do here is try to, make that fear of failure not so prominent with you because that's why you're here watching this. You might feel like that low key, you don't tell anybody about it, but we're going to try and see what we can do to help you with this and get through this, okay? All right. So with that being said, if you need more time, you can stop the video and see what resonates best with you if you need a little more time, but I'm going to go ahead and get started with pile number 1. Also, please subscribe, like, comment, and share this video. Somebody definitely might need it, and I love to hear the comments to know whether or not they resonated. Okay, to my subscribers, welcome back, and to my new subscribers, welcome to the channel. Hopefully we can get some help for you guys today. All right, pile number 1 is first. Okay, so here's for those of you who chose pile number 1. Let's go ahead and find out what's going on in regards to why am I afraid I may fail? Okay. Okay. So I'm not sure if you can see this. Let me see if I can get a reflection for you. That is the T-Rex. Okay. And the T-Rex represents the Lizard King, okay? And we all know that the T-Rex also is known as a sort of tyrant, right? Kind of like the king of the swamps in, prehistoric days, So you may be the type of person who might actually be the tyrant type, somebody who wants to take control of all situations at all costs to make sure that you win. All right. Now, winning is good, yes, but doing it in the honest, work hard way like everyone else is pretty much the right way to do it. So let's go ahead and find out what kind of cards we have for you here, okay? Wow, the King of Cups, the Ace of Cups, Six of Pentacles, Ace of Flamingos, Ace of Swords, Ten of Wands, the Nine of Swords, Nine of Flamingos. We have the Knight of Swords, Six of Pentacles, the Empress. Oops, sorry you guys, I don't do the upside down thing on these. The Eight of Rods, and then we have the Five of Cups. All right. Okay, so let's see what the story is here. We have one major arcana, and that is the Empress. Okay, now there may be somebody in your life who you do consider as the Empress, right? And in regards to the question, why am I afraid I may fail? So you might be afraid that you may fail in regards somehow to this person. So let's find out, let's start from the beginning and see what we get, okay? So you may be holding the energies of the King of Cups. And the King of Cups is a king who is very emotional, possibly a father, a husband, a mate, however you want to call it. But you're very emotional and you do want to start a new beginning somewhere, a new beginning in love, all right? And possibly you are in a situation where you do have to give to two people, all right, or two situations. Maybe you're recently divorced or something, or you recently broke up with somebody. And maybe you have children, so you have to pay child support or something like that, you know what I mean? Just regular stuff. I know it sounds, I'm taking it lightly there, but hey, that's what you got to do. If the relationship doesn't work out and there's children, you got to take care of your own, right? Now, we also have the Ace of Flamingos here. So not only do you want to start an emotional beginning with someone, you also want to start with the truth, right? You want to start all relationships with the truth. You don't want to hold back. And we have this Ace of Flamingos here, and you may be wanting to start a new relationship with somebody with the truth, right? Or you may want to cut off a situation, because this is also a card that, the Ace of Flamingos can be a card of new beginnings, or it could be a card of you cutting off a situation, severing a relationship, right? So it's either one of those two things that's going on here. We also have the Ten of Wands, or the Ten of Peppermills, and with that card, how funny how there's a lizard on there, right? On that card, you're feeling possibly that this is just way too much of a burden. Okay, maybe you just don't want to deal with it. But for some reason, with this Nine of Flamingos, Nine of Swords here, you are up at night thinking about this. You're having trouble. It's like in your head. You just can't stop thinking about whatever's going on here. All right, whatever's a burden in your life. So we have the Nine of Swords here, and the Nine of Swords is representative of someone coming in quickly to give information to another person. So you might be holding the energy of this Nine of Swords because it's right under the King of Cups, and you might want to come in swiftly and tell somebody about something, right? It could have to do with starting a new emotional beginning. It could have to do with you having to share finances, or your time, or something two ways, right? And when you come in, because we do have the Six of Pentacles twice there, so this here is it's really standing out because we have the card twice. So you may need to come in, you may want to talk to somebody about you having to give to two, right? Or maybe you have two separate relationships that you have to give to. Maybe you have children in two separate spots and you got to pay each of those parents for each of those children. Okay, this is a situation too. It doesn't have to be, but it might be a situation. You might want to be coming in to tell this person about this situation, and the person you want to tell, I think, is the Empress. And I think you want to tell this Empress person, and this person is somebody from the past. All right, this is somebody you know from the past. So, and the Empress, you know, she holds all the energies of all the queens. And if you're a guy watching this and this is your situation, okay. But if you're a woman watching this and this seems like, wait, I'm not the King of Cups or whatever, whatnot. Just know that the energies can be switched because we all carry male and female energies. So if it is like that, then just switch the roles. It's really not a big deal, okay? So we also have the Page of Swords here, all right? And the Page of Swords, you know, that's somebody who's spying, right? Somebody is spying on somebody because they want to know whether or not they really can come in with this information, and the information is going to come in real quick. But it seems that when it does, it doesn't look too promising because we do have the Five of Cups here. And you might be afraid to come in with this information, but when you do, it does show here in the cards that you are mourning over a situation. And this might be because whatever information you will tell the Empress, it might not pan out too well because the cards are showing the 3 cups that have spilled. But what you're not realizing is there's 2 cups behind you. Right? And remember how I said at the beginning of the video, you are in charge of your own destiny. So maybe it does, you know, maybe you do get turned down because you came and you told the truth. But because those 2 cups are there, you definitely have a chance to fix things. All right? This person might be upset about what happened. Give them time to breathe, let them calm down, and come back again and say, look, you know, I'm sorry, and I'm coming to tell you the truth. You know, because I'll be honest with you, when you come in and tell someone the truth about something, anything, especially if it was traumatizing to them, that shows a lot of courage. And hopefully, because this Empress has all the qualities of the queens, she should be able to come to the conclusion that, wow, you know what, he did. He came in, he told me the truth, and, you know, that takes a lot of balls to do that, you know. So try not to feel so bad about this if this situation is your situation, because it is showing that there is promise here, right? And who's in charge of their destiny? You are. Okay, so don't take everything too much to heart because it looks like things can be fixed. All right. So in terms of why am I afraid I may fail, maybe the situation is scaring you. Okay. But if this is your situation and it resonates with you, I just saw the number 1313. That might resonate with somebody. But if it does resonate, I'll see you at the end and we'll go ahead and see what kind of advice the universe will have for you, and hopefully something will help you out here. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and move on to pile number 2. Okay, so here's pile number 2. So let's go ahead and find out what's going on in terms of why am I afraid I may fail? Okay. Okay, so we have the buffalo skull. And the buffalo skull represents, you know, sacredness, reverence for life, right? And, you know, the reverence for life is basically, it's the fundamentals of morality, you know, that good consists in maintaining and assisting and enhancing life, right? And what we really know is that, you know, we live and we want to go on living, all right? So in terms of why I am afraid I may fail, maybe you feel that if you do fail, oh my God, life doesn't go on, but it really does. You know, it really does. Everybody fails. Without failure, there is no success, because how on earth will you learn, right? Just saying, you know. So let's go ahead and find out what's going on here. We have the Emperor, we have the Ace of Rods, we have the Sun, we have the Queen of Oysters, which is the Queen of Pentacles, we have the Devil, we have the Lovers, We have the Page of Cups, Justice, Page of Swords. Whoops, sorry you guys. I accidentally put the cards upside down. I always do that. Sorry you guys. We have the Knight of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, and then we have Judgment. Wow. You know what? There's really something going on here, okay? Really, definitely. If you pick this pile number 2, let's try to see if we can get through this for sure, okay? Try to explain things best I can, and hopefully you can come up with your own conclusion on how you will deal with this situation, okay? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 major arcanas. That's like half of this reading, right? There's somebody that you see in your life who's very special to you, but there's a toxic situation that you're in right now, and it might be a romantic situation. All right, you do want to balance this situation because it's just not doing well for you, and there's no balance here, right? So you know in the end that you will have to make judgment on this situation. Okay, so let's start from the beginning and let's see what's going on. We have the Emperor here, and that's you who might be holding that energy. You may have had that past energy, okay? Or you may be dealing with somebody with that energy. And the Emperor is a person who holds all the energies of the kings, right? Every energy that the king carries, the Emperor has it all in one. He's like the complete man, you know, or the complete masculine, if you will. Because, you know, if you're a woman watching this, you can still hold that energy, okay? Because we all have male and female energies. So, just saying. So it seems here that somebody wants to start a brand new passionate beginning, and it could be this Emperor, all right? And you could be thinking about somebody from the past in this situation. And with the Sun here, you may actually feel that this person from the past is, you know, you hold them in high regards, like they are your sunshine, right? Now, you could be dealing with somebody who holds the energies of the Queen of Oysters, and the Queen of Oysters is, you know, it's a wife, it's a mother, somebody who's married. So either you could be dealing with that right now, or this could be the person of the past. But from what I see here and the cards surrounding, I'm taking it that you are definitely dealing with this person right now. Okay. We do have the Devil card here, so you may possibly be in a situation with this person that's toxic, okay? You may be married to this person or in some kind of long-standing relationship with them. But with the Devil card there, that indicates that this relationship is very toxic. You know, it could be codependency, it could be drug use. You could be involved in a lot of negative things when it comes to this relationship. Now we have the Page of Cups here. So that right there can indicate a child. You could have a child with this person, right? And, you know, it's a lot of emotion right there. I don't see a fish in the cup, but that definitely doesn't mean that a child is not involved, okay? You do want balance in your life, but it's pretty tough when you're involved in this kind of toxic energy, right? And you do want balance for the child if you do have one. So you may be a very caring parent, okay? We also have the Page of Swords here. Excuse me. So you might be watching somebody, spying on somebody, right? We also have the Knight of Pentacles here, and the Knight of Pentacles is somebody who is, you know, the slowest moving knight in the deck, which is very understandable because it's hard to, you know, build up your pentacles, your money. You know, you don't just make a lot of money in one day unless you're like a superstar. So that's why this is the slowest moving knight in the deck, because it takes time to build up your finances. Now we also have this Ace of Swords here, and it looks like that you want to move forward in a new situation. It might be this passionate new situation, and the person that you're thinking about, right? Your sunshine, whoever that is. So you may want to have a passionate new beginning with this person, and you may want to start have a new start with them. But you know, the Ace of Swords, it can be either two things, right? You want to come in with the truth. You want to start this relationship with your sun, the Sun card there, this person that you consider your sunshine. but you want to come in with the truth, right? Or you might want to come into this person and you might use this sword to absolutely sever the relationship that you might have had with them, because there might be, this person might still be on your mind or involved in your relationship somehow, you know? So those are the two scenarios out of this that you can get. Now, you do realize that when you do come in with this information that you will be judged. A judgment call will be made on you. So make sure when you do come in that you try to be as honest and clear as possible. You know, don't hold back. And I think you are spying on this person who is your sunshine to make sure maybe if they're connected with anybody, if they're angry with you, like how they're going to be when you do come in with this information. But just know that if you are very nervous about that because you do want to come in with this information, you know, you do want justice out of this whole thing because you feel possibly that if you come in with the truth, that this person will be understanding and accept you. And I'm sure they will. It's not guaranteed that this person is going to take you back all open arms and everything, right? Because of the toxicity you may have had with this person in the past. But just know, if you do come in with an offer of love, you will be judged on this situation, especially if you're trying to come in and tell the truth, because it may be shocking. I don't know your situation, but you might have to come in and tell the truth about something that's absolutely devastating to, you know, your sunshine, right? So, you know, I think the best thing you can do is come in with the truth. And maybe you might feel like, you know, you might fail in this situation, like you don't get what you want out of it. But you know what? At least you've cleared your conscience and you're not feeling any kind of guilt anymore because you actually did reveal the truth. And that's very, very good for you. So don't be afraid to, you know, fail in this situation, because even though the judgment card is here and you are coming in with the truth, that takes, like, you know, that takes a lot of balls to do that. So if you can come in and do that, I'm sure whoever you need to give this information to is going to see that, you know, you are really standing up in your power, that you are trying to make amends, make things better, and, you know, they should possibly consider this. Now, if you're still in a relationship, I don't suggest that you go and talk to this person, because if you're still in a relationship and you're trying to make up and start new with somebody, why would you do that if you're still involved with someone, okay? You know, that's not a good idea, and guaranteed that person will be upset if you are trying to come in with some kind of new beginnings, but they're going to be very upset if they know that you're still married, okay? Don't do that. It's not going to be a good ending, and the judgment will be made, and you're not going to get what you want. So make sure you have things cleared up and nice and easy, and just know that you know, coming in with the truth is very, you know, honorable, and you know, you might be able to make things happen for you in a positive way. So remember, you are the person who decides your own destiny, and if you think positively, take care of business like you're supposed to do, most likely you'll have a really good outcome. If this is your situation, I will see you at the end for the oracle cards, because we will have additional information from the universe and from Buddha to see what they can suggest also to help you out with your situation. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to move on to pile number 3. Okie doke, so here's for those of you who chose pile number 3, and the question was, why am I afraid I may fail? Well, let's find out. Okay, so we do have the steer skull. And the steer skull represents, you know, silent testimony. So you are probably holding something inside you, something that you don't want to, you know, tell people. Maybe you feel that if you do, something will happen. It will ruin your chances at, you know, overcoming this situation, if you will. Like you're afraid that if others get involved, you may fail, this type of thing, right? So let's go ahead and find out what we have for you here. We have the Four of Wands, we have the Knight of Cups, we have the Ten of Wands, we have the Emperor, we have the Magician, we have Death, we have the Ten of Cups, the King of Wands, Oops, sorry you guys. Gosh, I knew that they were upside down. Okay, never mind. We have the Justice card and then we have the Page of Cups. Yeah, I accidentally put them in the piles upside down, so I just, sorry about that, you guys. All right, I always seem to do it with that deck, so anyways, let's see what we have here. We have one, two, three, four major arcanas, okay? Now, in your situation, this is you. You are the emperor, right? And you might be trying to manifest something because an end is definitely going to come to a situation. And, there will be justice that will be found out of this situation. All right. Now let's start from the beginning and let's find out what's going on. So basically, it looks like, well, with this Four of Wands here, you may be married or in a committed relationship with somebody. You may have even tried to manifested this person into your life to have that wish fulfillment card, right? And wish fulfillment is like whatever you wished for, yay, you got it, right? The Nine of Cups. But you know what? It's not actually the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is right below, though, okay? So, we're kind of moving in a good direction. So we have you're in a relationship that you got wish fulfillment in, but it wasn't really what you really wanted because, wish fulfillment can also indicate, a lot of partying and having fun, but not really focusing on important things like family and stuff like that, right? Things that you should be focusing on because, getting together with somebody, it's not all about parties all the time and having fun. There's a lot of things that go along with, having a good standing relationship. And what I see here is whatever this relationship was, it's way, way so much of a burden for you. It's a lot of weight on your shoulders, okay? And it didn't turn out exactly the way you wanted, okay? Kind of like the grass is greener, right? You chose a person and you thought it was going to be great, but in actuality, it was a big old burden on your life, okay? So you may be holding this energy of the Emperor. You may have healed through this, learned a lot of things from it, which is good. So it didn't work out. No big deal. That right there is like, maybe you had a failed relationship or whatever, but don't take it as that. Take it as a lesson that, okay, you know what? It made me the emperor, so now I'm going to move forward and I'm not going to make these same mistakes again with the next person, right? You're going to be more in your power. You're going to have maybe boundaries for yourself to make sure that you can move forward in a good, healthy way, in a healthy relationship, right? So I do see here this Emperor card, and that may be you. Now, if you're a female watching this, you can still be the Emperor and hold that energy because we all hold male and female energies. So you may be standing in the Emperor's shoes right now because you have found that male energy in you, and you're taking on that role, and that's okay. I have been the Emperor in the past myself. And it's just it happens that way. No big deal. All right, so we have the Magician next. So as the Emperor, you have been trying to manifest possibly a better relationship for you, right? But for some reason, because you have this burden here, I don't think you've actually gotten out of the relationship yet because we do have this Eight of Swords card here, and the Eight of Swords is indicating somebody feeling trapped. If you look at Alice here, Alice in Wonderland, feels like she's surrounded by these flamingos, like, oh my gosh, I can't get out, right? But you know what? She can get out, because a lot of times the Eight of Swords also indicates being trapped in your mind, in your own mental prison, feeling like you can't get out of this. But, if you're in a marriage, how do you figure you can't get out of it? That's what divorce is for. Why stay in something that you're not happy with? Especially, I'm not sure, I don't see, okay, I do kind of see children here, but I will tell you one thing. It's more healthier for a couple to divorce than to show the child unhappiness, fighting, arguing, and bickering. You're going to raise your child to think that that's what a relationship's like, and that is very, very unhealthy. I understand that people want to stay together for the kids, but as an example for me, I've been divorced, and with my son, maybe 1 or 2 years later, I asked, "Are you mad that me and Dad are separate? Would you rather us get back together?" And he was like, "No, Mom." You know why? Because kids like to have two separate spots. First of all, okay, they're not watching you guys argue anymore. All right. They might see you get into good, loving relationships, and that'll bring happiness to them. They'll feel like, okay, mom and dad didn't work out, but look at, mom and dad with their new whoever. And on top of that, I got 2 rooms, I get 2 Christmases, I get 2 birthdays. So it's a little bit different than what you think. You know what I'm saying? So divorce can't be a bad thing, and it's beneficial for your own happiness. You don't want to live like that if you are feeling like that. If you're not, this is not your situation. Okay, don't run with it. Okay, if this is not you, you can click off and just go straight to the end. Okay, if it doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate. But if it does, just hear the words that I say and try to understand what I'm trying to tell you here. Okay, so apparently in this situation though, you might have felt trapped, but I do see the death card here. So it does seem that you may have put something to the end already, okay? Or it's coming to an end, which is, that's good. Find your happiness, and I see here right after that is the Ten of Cups. So you're definitely going to find something way more fulfilling, because the Nine of Cups is cool and everything, but what you really essentially want is that Ten of Cups. Because that's the end of the cycle. You found it, you've made it. You know what I'm saying? You have victory there. Now, you could be in either of these stages right now. I look at these as maybe like stages, okay? You could be in the stage of, oh my God, I don't know what to do. How do I manifest myself out of this? Or you can be in the stage of, oh my God, I'm in this relationship and it's a burden. Or you can be in the stage of, okay, this is coming to an end. I'm going to look for my happiness. You may, retract your energy as into the King of Wands, because, a lot of this can take a toll on your psyche, on your subconscious, feeling like, oh my God, I'm a failure. I couldn't make this relationship work. Don't feel bad, I mean, it is what it is. Okay? I know a lot of us think, when they get married, it's forever, and that's essentially what you should do. But if it's toxic and it's really not good for you or your children, it's not beneficial to stay in that, because you are actually traumatizing your children with the fighting, the arguing, bickering, and things like that. You don't want to show that to your child. And sometimes we tend to like, okay, let's go in the other room and fight, but they know you're fighting. They can feel the energy. Children are very intuitive when it comes to this. So we also have this King of Wands here. So we have you here, right? You're starting to stand in your power. All right, you're very passionate, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to find someone new. And you might be actually holding on to something from the past, or someone from the past. Okay, this might be somebody that that you might have gotten along very well with, and you are looking at a future of the Ten of Cups with them. Okay, you're very passionate about this. Now, they usually say that the Wands, kings or knights or whatever are really, promiscuous and just come in and out of your life. But you know what? That's the knight. It's not quite the king. The king is a little more loyal, more monogamous, wants to have, they want to be loyal and find that one person. So usually when it's somebody who's like still in that playing around phase and still want to date here and date there and whatever, that's usually when the Knight of Wands shows up. But we do have here the King of Wands. And the King of Wands is definitely holding on to something, holding something close to his heart. And that might be you. So you might be holding on to the memory of a particular person. Okay. This could also indicate that you're trying to hold on to your money. So it might be a dirty or a really nasty separation, and that sucks. That sucks if you just can't, separate and be cordial, and most people can't. And I feel so bad about that, because once again, you're showing this to the child. And you don't want the child to be afraid of relationships, right? You want your child to have good, healthy relationships that, okay, if it doesn't work, it can end in a nice, cordial way. But we can't always have what we want, right? And unless we try, because some relationships do end nicely and it's mutual, and that's the ideal, but it doesn't always happen that way. So, justice will be had here. And then we do have this Page of Cups, and that's where I'm seeing that there is a child that's possibly involved. But, I do see that you are feeling trapped here. And since the Page of Cups is underneath that card, you may be feeling trapped because of the child. Like you don't know what to do. You don't want to leave the child. And that is great, because, that shows that you love the child. And you might be staying in this situation and making yourself miserable, because of that child. You know, it doesn't, just because you separate from a marriage or anything doesn't mean like, oh, she's going to take me for all I got. No, 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 no. You can also go to the court and say, I want 50-50 custody, right? Then you can equally share that. You know, that's one thing that men don't, don't like. I know I'm sounding like, oh, you're for the men. And you know what? I am equal for both sides. All right? I'm not trying to take sides. But there are a lot of people out there that are very evil and conniving like that, and they threaten with that. And that's not very nice. That's not a very nice person doing that. You can equally split the child. Maybe you live in different states. Okay, child can be with the mother during school. Summertime, child can go to dad. Easy, very easy. Okay, very simple, and you can treat the child with the finances the way you want to. Okay, without feeling any kind of loss. And in a good relationship, if you can end cordially like that, that's ideal. Anyways, so that's just a thought there, okay? You don't have to do it. Like I said, you don't have to do anything I say here. It's just a suggestion just to get you to think. I'm here to make you think. I'm not here to tell you what to do, all right? So if this situation does sound like you and it kind of does resonate, then you can go ahead and just wait a few seconds there, because I'm going to go ahead and move on to the end since you are the last pile, and then we're going to ask the universe about what we can do to make this situation a little bit better, and hopefully make you feel a little bit more like a winner instead of somebody who's afraid to fail. Because what do we do from failing? We learn from it. Okay, so I'll see you guys at the end. Okay, so we made it to the end. I do have the surrender cards, and then they have the Buddha Wisdom Shakti Power cards, and I do keep the book on the side because I just absolutely love that book, and I might be reading from it. Most likely I will be reading from it, but no. Okay, so you made it to the end, and the main question was, why am I afraid I may fail? Now, these cards here, they all have to do with relationships and feeling like you are stuck. You don't know how to get out of it. You might feel like you have failed. Oh my God, I failed as a husband or wife or whatever the situation. That shit happens, okay? So, you know, it may not, none of this may not resonate with you guys, okay? So we're gonna try to touch basis on, this question as a whole, which, it could be not even about relationships, okay? Now, let's go ahead and find out first what you must surrender when it comes to why am I afraid I may fail, okay? This could be in regards of tests, it could be relationships, it could be involvement with family members, just anything, okay? So these are pre-shuffled. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle one more time. All right, and we're asking the universe, what must I surrender in order for me to not be afraid of failure? Because just understand, failure is a part of life, and we learn from that, okay? So I'm doing it on camera this way because I just want you guys to know I'm not doing anything willy-nilly. And one of these days coming up here soon, I'm going to show you how I come up with those cards, okay? All right. So I'm going to randomly pick a card out of here. All right, I feel like these didn't release. All right. So I'm actually feeling something around here. So I'm going to go ahead and pull a card from here. All right. So that's our surrender card. And then next we have the Buddha Wisdom Shakti Power card. So we're now asking Buddha, we're asking wisdom from Buddha, okay? And we want to know what kind of wisdom Buddha has in regards to failure and why we are afraid to fail, okay? We're going to find out what kind of advice Buddha has here, okay? Love these cards, you guys. All right, so this is done differently. I basically, just cut the deck and take the top card. All right. Okay. All right, so we have our advice there. Let's go ahead and find out what we need to surrender first, okay? So first we have surrender to your full power. perfect card for this situation. Now, and I just got chills, okay? I think maybe it's because I'm excited about the card, who knows? But this card is actually saying that you need to surrender to your full power because, you're afraid of failing, and that could be in any situation. And when you do that, you're not actually putting out the full power, your full potential. Okay? Okay, so you might fail at a certain situation. Pick yourself up and try again. You're gonna win eventually if you keep trying. All right? There's no absolute failure. All right? One of these days you're gonna figure shit out and you're gonna be like, whoa, I finally won. Because you figured it out yourself. Okay, not from me, not from the card, but it's gonna come from within you. And you're gonna realize, hey, I'm not a failure. Failure is just a part of life. We all go through it. Okay, don't feel like if you feel like, oh my God, my life is over, everybody's gonna, no. Everybody who might think that about you, trust me, they have failed a lot of times before too. They're just not, announcing it. All right. So, so don't feel bad. It's part of life. And without failure, there's no success. Okay. No one ever wins on the first shot. Sometimes, okay, you get that here and there person that they got it on the first shot. But you know what? It doesn't always, that's not realistic. We have to go through these failures to actually move forward and learn from these failures and be like, okay, I'm not going to do it this way this time. I'm going to take this other approach, or I'm going to study harder, or I'm going to run harder and practice more, or I'm going to try to work more on my relationships and be a better person and try to work things out. So let's read what it says. It says, your life is calling for you to step into your full power rather than playing it small. So you might also be the kind of person who is like, okay, I'm just going to do the easy stuff because I know that I'm going to do okay. You got to challenge yourself, though. If you just stick with the easy stuff because you're thinking, okay, if I just stay here, I'm just going to do this little easy thing or just conform to whatever because I know I won't fail and I'm just going to do it like that. There's absolutely no progress in your life when you do that. And we're all born to move forward and advance and do better for ourselves. But if you don't actually challenge yourself, you're not going to be able to move forward. You're going to kind of be stuck in that same cycle. So you're not failing because you're just dealing with little situations that that you will be able to power through, but you're actually not really learning from it. Okay, and we want to teach our children that there's struggles in life, and through these struggles we can find success because we always got to push ourselves to work a little bit harder to do better for ourselves, right? That's how I'm seeing this card. Okay, so don't be afraid of failure, and always, move forward. Do things that you can to challenge yourself because that's how we learn. And that's how, our mind and our spirit, it's good for us. Okay, if you just stay in the same place, it's like your subconscious and your spirit's like, hey, we're trying to move forward. Can you please, step it up? You're not going to find your happiness that way. We find happiness from success and just like, wow, I did it. This is great. That good feeling of succeeding. We all fail. Just remember that. You're not the only one. We all go through it. Do not be afraid of failure because, without that, how is anybody going to ever learn, right? So let's find out what the Buddha Wisdom Shakti Power card is. Okay, great. I haven't had this one for a while. Now it says Vajrasattva, okay, father of the 5 Buddha families. You are fine just the way you are. Okay, so you might feel like, okay, you got to look a certain way to people, or you got to be a certain show a certain image, like say for example, if your children are like, my dad's cool, he's this, that, and the other, or my mom, whoever it is, right? And so you're constantly feeling like you got to be or act a certain way just to show your child that, yeah, you're the best. But you know what? Your child's going to love you anyways, unconditionally, as long as you love that child back. So if you're feeling that you have to live up to some kind of expectation to make people happy and to look at you a certain way, that's not really you. You know what I mean? You are perfect just the way you are. And people need to accept that, whether they like it or not. All right? So, you may be a person that wants to strive forward and do well for yourself. If you do it with honesty and you show your true colors, that you are a caring person, you don't have to be that macho guy like everyone wants to see. You can just be yourself. Because honestly, to be yourself and to be more authentic in your own power and your own skin, that's like the best you can be, because you're just kind of being a fake if you're trying to, live up to some kind of expectation for what everyone else wants. You know what I'm saying? And it might sound right here that I'm telling you, like, okay, just fail like everyone else. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying be yourself. I'm saying to not be afraid to be yourself. Always strive to move forward. Show your children that that's what life's about, is for moving forward and facing those challenges, because we can do it. It's like it's life, you know what I mean? And you don't have to fake yourself or look a certain way for people to accept you. If you have to act a certain way, those people are really not your friends if they can't accept you for who you are, honestly. They've got some kind of issues themselves if that's the case. So you are fine just the way you are. Don't change for anyone, okay? Be that person you want to be, but make sure you're a good person. If you are like somebody who um, likes to rob people, that's kind of, that's not a good thing right there, okay? That's not the perfect way to be. But if you're somebody who's a little more sensitive than others, who shows their heart more, a little bit more than others, don't worry about that. That's actually really nice to me. If I could meet somebody who can open their heart to me and show me their true colors, I'm just like, I'd be in shock right there, because not very many people do. You know, People show a mask all the time. They don't show their authentic self, and that's really hard to see nowadays. Okay, people are afraid to show compassion, or kindness too much, because they feel like people will think they are weak. Okay, but you shouldn't take kindness for weakness, because I know a lot of people out there, me one of them. I used to be a very mean person, very abrasive in my speech. Okay, but I don't want to be that way anymore, because it never really got me anywhere. What it did was it scared people away from me. Okay, and that's also not what I want to do. So I actually just said, you know what, I'm a nice person inside. I don't need to try and be, this tough person with a foul mouth in order to get friends. The best and most effective way to meet people and, be happy with yourself is just to be your true authentic self. So I'm a pretty nice person. I will say that I do blow my top sometimes, and I try to keep that away from people. Try not to let people bother me. But hey, you know what? I'm human. It happens. Can happen to you guys too. No big deal. So let's go ahead and go to the book and see what the Vajrasattva really means from the book. Wow. Okay, I thought it opened right to the page. I was going to say, wow, it opened right to the page, but I've opened this book so much, it's going to open to all kinds of random pages. Okay. All right, here we go. So we have Vajrasattva, father of the 5 Buddha families. All right. Vajrasattva is the father of the 5 Buddha families, the complete embodiment of all of their wisdoms, the paterfamilias of us all. Okay? He exists beyond time and space in that place of sameness and oneness before the birth of the 10,000 things. He helped practitioners become purified in body, speech, and mind, and realizing their deepest nature in a lucid movement. In a lucid moment of simplicity brought to light after all the struggles of the mind and the heart. Working to become a better person are all the other aims and aspirations we struggle with in the quest for happiness, he helps us realize that we were never impure, never full of sin, or in need of any improvement at all. Vajrasattva has various roles, but this realization of self-acceptance is the one most commonly sought after by practitioners practicing his sadhana. He also helps keep one devoted to practice and repairs broken tantric vows, a golden vajra balance on end above his right palm, representing the mind, one of the ways a practitioner can enter into the mandala of reality. The left hand holds a silver bell that is at rest on his thigh, representing wisdom. Together, they represent the fusion of all polarities into one enlightened experience. He looks down at us with a gaze of total acceptance. His practice is a good antidote to irrational guilt or self-hatred. In contrast to the Christian doctrine of original sin, Tantric Buddhism asserts original purity. We are born pure, but then we get lost in the world. Stories about his nature have had to do with having lost your ways and, like the prodigal son, returning to your true home or the realization of your true nature of purity. He is associated with the dawn of the morning, the start of the new, the potential to begin again. So when it comes to why am I afraid I may fail, when with this story I just read, okay, I'm not trying to change your guys' religion, okay? I'm just going to explain to you how I see it in my own eyes, because I'm not Buddhist. I don't really have a religion, but I do feel that there's a lot of similarities when it comes to all of them, okay? What I'm gathering here is what this is saying is, when you're born real pure, and the only reason that we know what we know, or the beliefs that we have, is because they are instilled in us as children, okay? And children, they just suck in information like sponges. So they're very, you can really, influence them with your words or your actions, right? So when we're children, our parents are a good example of what we learn from. So if our parents have not treated us so well or spoken to us very nicely, they are in turn going to do that possibly, okay, to their own children, because that is what they know and that is what they've learned, okay? Now, if you have a child and you teach it positivity, happiness, that failure is okay, get right back up and move ahead, then, that's a good, healthy way to, teach your child that failure is not bad. Failure is actually okay, and you just get right back up and you try again, Brady Bunch style. You know what I'm saying? So, the reason why a lot of people are afraid of failure is because somebody has really made them feel bad, like, pointing their finger, you're a failure, you're not going to do well, you're not going to do it, you can't make it, you can't this. And you know what? That really has a really big effect on children. So they're going to go through most of their life thinking that they can't, okay? When in actuality, they can. Everybody can move forward. Everybody can be successful. Everybody can be abundant. Everybody can be happy, and everybody can be loved. So speaking these things to your child, or to somebody who is so impressionable like that, it's not very nice. I'm not telling you how to raise your children or what to do. I'm just helping you to think about, get that concept going, because maybe you just didn't understand it yourself. And so I'm basically here just to help you think, that's all. I'm not trying to change your religion. I'm not trying to change your ways of life. I'm just trying to put out a concept that you can understand, in an easy form, because, I'm doing these videos basically so you don't have to go and talk to anybody about it, because these are very private conversations, you know. You can watch this video or any of my videos anonymously and learn, quietly to yourself. And you don't have to tell anybody where you got this information. I'm just trying to help you to think for yourself, so you don't have to go to any outside source that may kind of skew the idea of what's right, because I will never try to steer you wrong or tell you negative things. I will not tell you anything that I haven't been through. I will not tell you any of these things without my own research, okay? And I don't just look up one thing. I look up many things and I compare, you know? So, I'm trying to lead everybody into a nice, peaceful future, a more loving future, a caring future, a good future for our children. Okay, and that's what we need to do in our lives. And we also need to nurture ourselves, bring back that inner child from the past who has probably been told, you're not going to get there, you're not going to do it, you're not going to succeed. When in actuality, you know what? You are. You are, and you deserve everything that everyone else who seems to be doing better than you don't know how much better they are. They might be putting on a mask, right? But whether you see them in a certain light or not, and if say they do seem like they're ahead of you, just know that you can get there and you can go beyond them. Okay? You can have it just as much as everyone else. Just know that you're not a failure. We all learn from it. Okay? And you don't know how far you can go unless you actually try. Okay? Simple. I do see the number 5555. That is a number of change multiplied by 4. So if that does resonate with you, or if you feel like that, look it up and see exactly what it means, because at this point, that's what I saw here, okay? And it looks like that you might need to make that change and look at yourself in a different light. Look at yourself as someone who is a winner, regardless of failure, because you can succeed beyond your wildest dreams, because you are worth it, because you are capable. And if anyone tells you you can't do it, just say, okay, whatever makes you feel better, whatever you need to say to make you feel better, you can go ahead and say that, but I'm going to be over here succeeding, okay? And you can have a nice day. Simple as that. All right? So, hopefully you're not really afraid of failure anymore, and don't do anything that everybody says. Don't run with the what is it, the bulls or the pack or whatever. You don't have to do what everybody does, because a lot of people out there, they're staying in the same, the herd, the cow herd or whatever. They're staying with the herd, but where's that herd going? They're still hanging out at the same spots. They're still doing the same things. You don't see any progress. Maybe you do see a few stray from the herd, but then what do you see them doing? They're succeeding, they're doing better, because maybe they stepped back and said, you know what are these people doing here? They're just chilling, doing nothing. I think there's more out there for me to see, and even though I love these people and they're my friends, hopefully they're not going to mind me straying away to try to better myself. And if they are really your friends, they won't mind. They won't mind at all. Okay, they'll be happy for you, actually. Okay? They might even, think about things themselves, right? So, I'm hoping that I reached out to somebody out there. Hopefully somebody out there is understanding what I'm saying, all right? Because I do care about you. I do care about humanity. And I do believe that a lot of us have been hurt growing up, no matter what age you are. And I just want you to understand that, you can succeed, you can move forward, and you can get over this as long as you realize what the actual problem comes from or where it stems from. And once you figure that out, you can have that like aha moment, like, oh, that's why I feel that way. And then you can overcome. It doesn't happen in one night, because that has been ingrained into your subconscious, right? So when a situation comes up, you may get that fear again. But if you do something like, repeat to yourself constantly, I'm a winner, I can do this, it's not a problem. You have to kind of ingrain it somehow. A lot of that can be done through meditation. There's guided meditations, for any kind of situation, any kind. And if your subconscious hears that enough, or if you repeat that to yourself enough, it'll start to get ingrained into your subconscious, and that thought of you being a failure or whatever will actually kind of dissipate. You know what I'm saying? And what it will be replaced with is the positivity that you've put inside you. The mind is a very, very crazy thing, but you can make those changes. It takes time. Just be patient, but you can do it, and everything is possible, okay? You can also, here's just a little tip, this is what I do. I have my mirror in the bathroom, and I took a Sharpie, and I tend to have issues with myself. Sometimes I feel unloved or whatever, which is, I don't feel that like that too much anymore because I've been doing this. I wrote on the mirror, I love you. So every time I look in the mirror, I look in my eyes and I say, hey, I love you. And I do feel a lot more love for myself. So in this situation, I guess somebody could put something like, hey, you're a winner, or something like that. You know, failing is okay because you can get back up and win. It's a little sentence, if you move out or you move away and that's still there, just get some nail polish remover, take it off. It's not going to kill anybody by being there. It's just a suggestion, okay, that's all. All right, you guys, we're already at an hour, or actually, what, 100 minutes? We're at a long time here. So I'm going to let you guys go. And hopefully I helped someone out there. And I just want to leave you guys with, you know what, you all are winners. We all fail. I failed plenty of times. But, just pick yourself back up and get right back out there in the race, because you can do this. You're not a failure, okay? You're just going with the flow, part of life. It's just, we all have to deal with it, and everything's going to be okay. All right? So, my name is Mona. This is Kaleidoscope Dreams Tarot, and I'll definitely see you next time for some more healing energy sessions. All right? Bye.